Welcome to The Refresher, bringing you the latest in Dota 2 news, tournaments, meta, and memes. Today is Monday, the 21st of August, 2017, and in the past 7 days we got a bunch of new post-TI roster announcements, Siltbreaker Act 2, our TZ stream highlights, and more Sccc than anyone ever needed. Let's get straight into it. In the state of the game this week, while we didn't get the Dueling Fates update, we did finally get the long-awaited Siltbreaker Act 2. If you didn't know, Siltbreaker is a new 4-player PvE campaign that's available exclusively for TI7 Battle Pass owners. Act 2 completes the storyline, adding a dozen new zones that lead up to the Siltbreaker himself, while also adding a bunch of changes to the game mode. Abaddon has been removed, 9 new heroes have been added, and artifacts got a major rework. Also, Valve introduced Adventure Mode, an easier way to explore the Siltbreaker story. It's the exact same map and bosses, but you start with additional lives, and all enemies have less health and deal less damage. Adventure Mode is available for Act 1 as well as Act 2, so if you've got a Battle Pass but you haven't given Siltbreaker a crack, or you struggle to get through Act 1, definitely go and give that a try. And then just last night, gameplay patch 7.06F was released. There's 43 line items in total, handing out minor nerfs to some of the most popular heroes from TI7, and buffs for others who have fallen by the wayside in the last few months. On the nerf side, Lich's ultimate Chain Frost no longer mini-stuns when it's cast, the cooldown on Sven's Warcry ability has been increased substantially, and Lycan's stupidly OP Howl has finally received the nerf it deserved, now only increasing allied units' max HP while keeping their percentage health the same, instead of also healing for the full amount of the buff. Lion got 2 great buffs, increasing the duration of his stun at lower levels and changing his level 20 talent from 8% spell amp to plus 300 Finger of Death damage. Skywrath Mage got more spell lifesteal, as well as a reduced mana cost on his ultimate at its early levels, and Tiny got reduced mana cost on Toss, as well as a significant increase to the attack range bonus he receives when purchasing Aghanim's Scepter. For the full patch notes, check out the link in the description, and keep an eye out on Reddit over the next few days for analysis videos from your favorite pros. In esports news this week, it wouldn't be a TI without a post-TI shuffle, and the changes are starting to roll in. On Monday, Team Secret announced they were dropping offlaner Kezu and Position 1 carry MP. There's no confirmed replacements as of yet, but rumors circulating indicate that the new players will not have played with Secret before, and that they are both shorter than Team Captain Puppy. Virtus Pro officially stated that they won't be making any changes for the upcoming season, as did Mousesports, the Greek ex-Ad Finum squad. In Southeast Asia, Execration has replaced Position 1 player Nando with Gabby, who was most recently a part of Clutch Gamers. Mineski has undergone major changes, dropping Arc, Mag, and Ryor, and picking up Ice and Jabs from Team Faceless, as well as Nana from Warriors Gaming Unity. Alliance has dropped Handskin, Limp, and John Fam with no confirmed replacements. The biggest news of the week is that Team OG mid player Ana will be departing from the squad. Ana confirmed the news on Twitter shortly after, and also added that he will be taking a break from Dota this season. That's all of the confirmed shuffles so far. In other esports news, OpenAI, the organization behind the Shadowfiend bot that destroyed Dendi and a bunch of other pro players at TI, has released a blog post this week. They've detailed their journey of training the bot, the infrastructure that it runs on, and their goals of extending the bot in the future to be equally competitive in 5v5 matches. They also mentioned that they've been making use of the popular open source Dota analysis site OpenDota and have decided to donate $12,000 to the project, covering their hosting costs for the next 10 years. And finally, with TI7 now wrapped up, Dota 2 has further eclipsed every other competitive esport in terms of prize pool payouts, surpassing the next 5 most successful games combined, with a whopping $125 million being awarded to teams and players. If you're a member of the Dota 2 community, give yourself a pat on the back, because that's definitely not all Valve. You helped make that happen. With the post-TI lull underway, there's no tournament news to cover this week, other than the fact that Moonduck mentioned on their most recent podcast that their Midas Mode tournament is definitely coming before the end of this year. Since there's no Pro Dota going on right now, we don't have a game of the week to recommend for you either. But if you're desperate for something to watch and you missed any of the TI7 main event or group stages, go back and watch that. It's still fresh, the event production was top tier, and almost all of the matches are excellent quality Dota. In this week's meta review, the post-TI hype is over and your favorite pub stompers are back on the menu. Phantom Assassin and Pudge are both up more than 3%. Legion Commander, Invoker, and Sniper all went up more than 2%. And Line is up 2.7% just today off the back of his sweet 7.06F buffs. Biggest drops were all heroes nerfed in the new patch. Nature's Prophet is down 2.1%, while Necro, Venomancer, Earthshaker, and Lich all fell 1.5% to 2%. In the overall charts, things are just about back to normal, with Earthshaker and Necro dropping spots to Bloodseeker, Legion Commander, and Anti-Mage. Spectre has the highest win rate this week, up 0.2% to 56.8%, followed closely by Necro, Pitlord, Wraith King, and Spiritbreaker, who are all above 55%. And if you're in the 5k MMR plus bracket, don't sleep on Visage either. He's got a 56% win rate and a significantly higher pick rate than in lower skill games. In Artifact news now, and while there hasn't been any more official announcements, this week Valve interestingly registered 2 trademarks for the game. One as a video game, and the other as a physical card game. While it's likely they're just covering themselves legally, maybe one day we'll get to see a physical version of Artifact for sale. The official Twitter account for the game has amusingly now followed 2 members of the Dota 2 community, Suraction Slacks and Sunsfan, both of Dota Cinema and Moondark fame. On a new Moondark podcast released this week, Slacks shared what little information he could about the gameplay.
There's a reason why it's catered to Dota players, because it is very intense. It's hard, and it's like, if you compare League and Dota, it's like Dota's equivalent to Hearthstone. Hearthstone is easy to pick up, and it's not that complicated. This game is like, you have to get through the learning curve, and it's super fucking, like, difficult, but at the same, and complicated, but at the same time, when you're in, you're fucking in, dude. It's hype.
In the content corner this week, if you're just craving some more Dota-related stuff, there's a whole bunch of post-TI reviews you can check out. Like we just mentioned, the Moondark crew ran episode 30 of their What the Duck podcast this week. Slacks, Sunsfan, Purge, Zyori, and Trent Pax are all on board, talking about their TI experiences and what it was like working with Valve, their thoughts on the panel and the All-Star match at TI7, and their upcoming Midas Mode tournament. Zyori and Trent Pax also ran episode 111 of the Zyori podcast, which has more discussion about the Twitch IRL stream that they ran at TI, the fact that Jack Chen is a god, and a solid 5-minute Zyori ran about the Unite the Right movement. Toby made a TI debrief vlog, Ake wrote a great blog post about his experiences during the International, and community member Berthikins has made a really sweet infographic on the courier kills from the TI7 main event. As always, check the description for all of the links. And finally, it's time for Shitpost Central, showcasing the saltiest and spiciest content from the past 7 days. This week started with so many photos of China's sexiest Dota player Sccc that the Dota 2 subreddit temporarily became a fan page dedicated to his new community moniker, Sccc. Which makes perfect sense given that r/Dota 2 is 97% heterosexual males. Someone captured a PogChamp no-tail, TI8 will have prequel memes, Redditors made a rhyme, and then they made a haiku about the Dueling Fates update. Team Liquid finally got the anime opening they always wanted to the theme song of Kuroko no Basuke. And a Redditor went to the painstaking effort of confirming that Bulba does actually wear the same outfit at every possible opportunity. In stream highlights, no one had to deal with some terrorism in his pubs, Slacks doesn't give a fuck about CSGO and TF2 wingers, and Arteezy's whole week was a goldmine.
My name is...
Привет, как дела, хорошо и дела.
My name is...
Japan.
I came from...
Japan.
the Philippines.
My God.
Allahu Akbar!
Don't be mad because the TF2 and the CSGO people are mad about Artifact, alright? Your games are long dead. You did it to yourselves with your fucking greedy economic bullshit. Dota don't care about cosmetics, boys. We care about gameplay. That's why we got a new game, you fucking pussies. So go plush your F button and look at your little gun and cry me a fucking river that you didn't get an expansion, dumbasses. Anyway.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yes. Yeah.
Let the hate
Why can't I have a card game? Oh, sick gun though, my glove.
It's crazy as fuck. He's got to be on Molly or some powder or something.
You are kicked.
Come on, man.
Times.
Those were simple days, man. They were actually so simple. I lived a normal life, man. I had a girlfriend. I had a hobby, you know, Dota 2. I went to school. I had dreams of becoming something bigger. Never happened. Here I am, playing fucking Pit Lord.
Onward.
Well, that's the refresher for this week, folks. With the post-TI lull underway, there isn't any tournaments to keep an eye on in the next 7 days, but there's sure to be a lot of action in terms of roster shuffles, bugs in the new patch, and maybe the Dueling Fates update. We'll be covering it all here and keeping you up to date on any artifact news as well, so don't forget to subscribe. If you enjoyed the show, give us a thumbs up and leave us a comment with your dream Dota 2 roster for the upcoming season.